Okay, there we are. There, how's that? Let's see. Mute.
Yeah, I know we'll get everybody this turn, so I'm sure. There you go.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Very good. Oh, I like to see all of you here. This is amazing.
Hello.
This is water. Although I need a glass of wine, I'll have mine later. Mm. So the people are here grabbing a cheesecake and vegetables and wine. I'm trying to entice you to come to the synagogue when you can. We have a New York cheesecake here and vegetables and fruit. And Howie brought a bunch of good beer, only for those of us who are over 21, and I'm almost there. And how old is my youngest student today?
It's 4 months old.
4 months old. I have a student 4 months old. He's very welcome. Hello, Steve.
Hello.
People are walking in. Hello, Debbie.
Are you all the same? It's larger.
Okay, for all of you who are here, I am going to start right on time to respect those who are here on time. So I would like to pay my debt today because I owe you something. Last week, we talked about love and marriage and what happens when the love doesn't work out. Unfortunately, there is a divorce sometime. So we didn't get a chance to finish that. So I'm going to just go over it quickly. This is not a great subject, but it's a subject that we need to know, about. And then we're going to go over to, sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry you didn't see it, but one of the students said, why do I look at him when I talk about divorce? It was just like he happened to be right across. I'm going to look over here at my students on the screen. So after I finish with my debt to you about teaching about divorce, we're going to go and talk about how to prepare ourselves for the high holidays, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. How do we do that? And this is actually something that I'm more excited to talk about. But the laws of divorce in Jewish religion, many people will tell you that there is a lack of equality about what is allowed for men or women. Things are getting a lot better. It's not like it was in ancient time, but please come in, open the door. There's more chairs, come on in. On Deuteronomy, chapter 24, the very first verse, it says, I'm going to read it in Hebrew just for a minute. Ki kach isha, and I know you know what the word ish and isha means because we learned it last week. Ish means man and isha means woman. If a man took a woman and married her, and then he doesn't like her because he finds something about her. I'm now translating, free translation from the Torah. He can divorce her and let her go out of his house. And it says, and then when she left his house, she went and she became a wife to another man. And let's say that the second man really, it says here, he hated her. Sorry, he didn't like her. and he left her and he sent her on her way. The question in the Torah is, can the man, the first man, maybe he said, she wasn't that bad. Can I take her back? And the answer is no. If a man and woman divorce, and after a while they decided, we're actually really good together, we want to go back, it's okay. But if she married another man in between, she can't go back. Why? Do you know why? Because it says so. So the worst thing in our Torah, the worst possible, one of the worst things that you could do is to have a marital relationship with another woman when you're married, or with another man when you are married. So even if you divorced your man and had a marital relationship with somebody else, you're no longer allowed to marry the first man. It's sorry? I thought somebody was asking something. Okay, so you can, sorry?
In the Bible,
Yeah,
that thing is for to have relations with the married woman.
right.
If the married man has relations with the woman who's not married, he's just married with a woman.
Right. These days are over, Steve. Yes.
What are you doing?
Who are you saying, what are you doing?
Who do you belong to? Who do you belong to?
No, they have to, you can get to mute everybody. Everybody's muted except for
Craig, are you talking to us or someone else?
just muted. You can mute again.
Okay. It's kind of, it feels funny to mute your boss. He is my boss, I'm sorry.
He's either yelling at his wife or his dog, so.
Oh, he was yelling, maybe he was, yeah, yelling at the dog. But,
I was yelling at the dog.
oh
Sorry.
God, because I know
I thought I
Barb's
was
not gonna
muted.
take that. Oh, he unmuted himself. How did he do that? Pretty cool. Okay, he did. No. Listen, my boss is a mensch. May you all have bosses like this. He doesn't hear. So we're talking about certain rules within Jewish marriage and Jewish divorce. In a Jewish divorce, a man has to give the woman a document that is called get. Get it? Get. G-E-T or G-E-T-T is a get. It's a document. Then the man is, and pretty much what it says in this declaration, it's kind of a legal declaration. It says, from now forward, you are allowed to be with any man. That's what it says. But the ancient custom or law is that the man has to give it to you in your hand. Things are changed. We don't all live in the same stable anymore. And now a rabbi can present it from someone that maybe lives, I don't know, at the end of the world in Australia or New Zealand. Yeah, because, you know, the rabbi can get it and represent the man. Yes, Mickey, you have a question.
What if,
She wants to know how to do it.
Go ahead.
what if you cannot find your partner, your previous partner?
Yeah, it's a problem. What can, if you cannot find your partner? This is a painful piece of Judaism. And I think that I once mentioned to you the submarine of Dakar in Israel that had 70 young soldiers who the submarine disappeared. And we never found the bodies and we never found the submarine, and some of these men were married to young women, and these young women wanted to get married, but they're still married because
You didn't get a get.
A, they didn't get a get, because so they didn't get divorced, and B, they did not have a proof that these men were dead, because according to Judaism, you have to have two ways
These
to
men were
prove
dead.
that somebody died. You have to have a proof that somebody died. What's the proof? One proof is the easiest one, the body, the corpse, right? But if you don't have that, what do you need? What if the guy was eaten up alive by a bad animal in the jungle? What do you need? You need witnesses, and at least two witnesses. So if you don't have witnesses and you don't have a body, you don't have, then the woman is still married. Oh, I see you guys all on the big screen here. It's amazing. We all can see you. Can you see us? Rabbi, what are you eating? You're making us all hungry. So marriage cannot stop until the death, and for the death you need to have either the body or the two witnesses. But after what happened with the submarine in Israel, this law had to be changed after a certain amount of years, when the women are waiting and the whole world is looking for the submarine. You know, it was like over 12 years after that happened that they finally, the rabbinate in Israel, allowed these women to marry. Why? The worst possible thing that can happen, if you're still married to somebody and all of a sudden he comes back, and now you're married to someone else and you have a child, this child is the definition of a bastard. It's not what when we say bastard or an illegitimate child, that's not equal to a bastard in the Torah. The Torah, how we say bastard in Hebrew? Mamzer. Many times you hear this word in a kind of an endearing way. Oh, he's such a mamzer. I mean, it's like he's such a person that into mischief or whatever. Or a mamzer could be like somebody who is like not a good person. But the true definition of the word mamzer is somebody who was born to a woman and man while the woman was married to another man. That is, and there is a, until today, we call it the blacklist. There is a list in the rabbinate in Israel that some of these children have no idea that they were born that way. And when they come to have a Jewish marriage, they said, you know, you were married to a woman while she was still married to somebody else. So this is, and in the Torah it says, a mamzer, no Jewish person should be marry them for how long? 7 generations. I know, right? Well, the whole idea behind it was to scare the woman to, God forbid, cheat on their man, because if, God forbid, you're going to get pregnant, your child will be the most miserable person in the world, not being able to marry another Jewish person, will be excommunicated pretty much. So, as far as divorce go, is there like special reasons in the Torah that says for this reason a man can divorce his wife? No. They really are not getting into any reasons. If she doesn't pleases him and he doesn't say in what way, if she burns his toast or burns his omelet or just whatever it is, it doesn't say. It really doesn't say. So here comes the oral law. 1800 years ago, we said, okay, we have to have some explanation what's okay and what's not okay. So for you married men, did you know that I found a proof that if you dance with another woman and it makes your wife jealous and uncomfortable, she can divorce you. Yeah, Anthony, you can make this big surprise face, but this is it. This is what it is. Because now, these days, it's not just the man that can divorce his wife. The wife needs the get in order to remarry. That's the weapon that men have up until today. And some of them, unfortunately, even these days in New York, there are men who could say to the wife, if you want me to give you the get, tell your very wealthy parents to help me out with my business or do something. It became terrible. And this is a place where we don't really have yet equality among men and women. We're not there yet. Yes. Hmm? No, the man has to give. There are women who are want to get divorced, and some of these women are even abused by their men. And rabbis in the community, they sit with the men and they say, hey, you don't want her, you don't have a good relationship, you don't have a good marriage, let her go, release her. The get says you, women, are allowed to go with other men. It's the man who gives the get to the woman. But a woman these days can initiate the divorce process if her man is going with other women. So come the rabbis and say, what does it mean going with other women? To say, even if the man is so careless about how she feels, that he flirts with other women or dances with other women, and it makes her feel less than what she should feel. I will give you all of the list. There is one other thing. It is also, I'm going to mention it. If a woman cannot get pregnant, the man, even if she is a good woman, a wonderful wife, according to the Torah, according to the Talmud, he has the right to let her go, but he needs to wait 10 years to try and have children. This law, to tell you the truth, breaks my heart. I had my very best friend in Israel who was married and for 10 years could not get pregnant. And even though it was a nice relationship, her husband did not want to have an adopted child and says, I need to have a child of my own. I'm divorcing you. He gave her a beautiful gift. They got a divorce. He remarried. She remarried. She has a beautiful, handsome son from her second marriage. Don't ask me how. I visit them when I go to Israel. Maybe he should have waited another year, but this is all I can say. But if you are childlessness is yes.
If it's the man who's in for a long enough woman, can the woman divorce the man?
How did you know? Just about to read this. If the husband,
Rikki, Rabbi Rikki, could you please repeat the questions? We can't hear the question.
The question was, what if the husband is unable to have children? So I said, I was just about to read that. If the husband is unfortunately sterile, the wife has a right to a divorce. So it goes both ways. And the same is true if the husband is impotent. When the husband takes issue with the wife's claim that he is impotent, her statement of his impotence is considered to be the more powerful argument. She is believed as long as she makes this statement directly and not via the good offices of the lawyer. In other words, the rabbis are saying, bring it to a bet din of rabbis and don't make it into, a publicly humiliating thing for the men. So this is another piece that is the same for men and women. And I will tell you something. A lot of the laws in Judaism, if you follow the rationale, remember what I say. Here's a formula. Jewish continuity. This is what it is. And they're not going to stop the woman from having children and bringing more Jews to the Jewish people. Same thing about men. So if one of them decides, I married you, whatever, but I don't even want to be intimate with you because I do not want to have children, and you have to have, take something against it. That is a ground for divorce. And now I'm going to give you the most surprising thing about divorce. As much as Judaism looks at marriage as one of the holiest things, and we need to keep them together. What if, are you ready for this? The land of Israel. If I'm married and I'm saying I'm going to Israel, and the man says, well, goodbye, because I'm staying in America or in New Zealand or in England, I'm not going to make an aliyah, that too is a good reason to break the package. Did you know that? Yeah, the land of Israel, a potentiality explosive issue within marriage has implications for divorce. The general rule is that whichever of the couples move to Israel, he or she has the right to cooperation of the spouse of the spouse. So if you want to make an aliyah, what the word aliyah means going up. Aliyah, A-L, how do you spell aliyah? Craig? Very good. Okay, aliyah. Aliyah means going up. We call immigrating to Israel as aliyah, because no matter where you are in the world, you're not in such an elevated level of holiness. So no matter where you are in the world, if you want to go to Israel, that means to make an aliyah, to ascend, to go up. The same thing when you go up to the bima to read from the Torah, it is called aliyah. You're going up in holiness. You're going to do something holy. So if among the couple, one wants to make an aliyah, one wants to immigrate to Israel and live in the Holy Land, and the partner says no, crazy. I mean, I didn't always know that rule, but I know it now, which is moving to Israel is that important.
By the way,
Yes.
it's interesting to note that the opposite is also true. So people who are Israeli or live in Israel and go live in the outside of Israel, they consider it to be your being or
Correct.
to downgrade, you're stepping down.
Correct. So how are you saying that people who live in Israel or born in Israel, Israeli citizen, when they leave Israel and go to any other country in the world, they call it the opposite of aliyah, which is yerida. Y-E-R-I-D-A. Yerida means going down. That means we are taking a distance from holiness and we're going down.
You know, a common word, and this word back root, Jordan. Jordan, where the Jordan word was the one area, and so the word God.
Yarden, correct. Very good. Thank you. Right. So I belong to the group of people who are called Yordim, the people who went lower, because I was born in Israel, and the age of 20, I was a Yoredet, because I'm a female Yoredet, so I went down. It does have a derogatory, feel to it, and And it is, yeah, so, right, it does, it's like a put down. She's a Yoredet. I mean, she was here, but she went down. It is what it is. Yes. Oh, that was a good question. Oh, I could hug you. So I'm being asked a crazy question. Never asked myself that. I'm being asked the question, are you still considered to be one who went down, even though you came to America to be a rabbi? I don't know what to tell you, but if you ask my mom, she said, sure. Anybody who's not living in the Holy Land is down. But oh, sometimes people say, maybe you didn't go up, didn't go down, maybe you just stayed even. It's okay. I'll take that. That was a very sweet question to ask. Yeah. So thank you. You just made me feel good. Thank you. So I'm hearing here that even though I left Israel, the Holy Land, I'm still doing God's work. I'm still teaching. I'm working in the synagogue, and I'm going to take that. And thank you so much. And I want to tell you all, thank you. I will tell you though, there are a lot of Israelis who live in Tel Aviv who live Judaism all the time. Everything is in Hebrew. I mean, Friday afternoon, right before Shabbat, the siren goes off, so everybody knows, okay, time to run and light the candles. You live Jewish life every day, and you have to deal with everything that goes along with protecting the homeland, with the army. It's either your brother is in the army or your husband is in doing a reserve army. Everybody is very involved. That some of the secular people in Tel Aviv, they don't go as often to synagogue or to pray. They feel like they're paying their dues by living Jewish life there. Everything almost is closed on Shabbat and Friday night and all the holidays. So if you want to believe in God, or you don't believe in God, you live Jewish life, and everybody have Shabbat dinner. And even the secular people, everybody have holiday dinner. So it's living Jewish life. And those people, I just accepted a new couple as members of our synagogue. They say, we are not religious. We are completely secular, but we are now in the galut, in the exile outside of Israel. I don't want my child not to go to Jewish school. So one child came to our Sunday school, the other child came to our preschool, and now they want to volunteer. They said, we don't see it in the street all in Hebrew, so we have to create our Jewish world. And that's why a synagogue is so important in anywhere that is outside of Israel, because otherwise we are going to assimilate. So we need to be here. Anybody who wants more reasons to, for divorce, I have a whole list here. Oh, if you're playing games with conjugal duties and you are withholding it away from your husband or vice versa, that's also a reason. Sorry. I'm getting dirty looks here. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, this is not a weapon. This is not something. Oh, you didn't wash the dishes? We'll talk about it next month. No, it doesn't work like this. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about a lot of good news. This weekend, we started the month of Elul, Aleph, Lamed, Vav, Lamed, Elul, E-L-U-L. 4 letters, and these 4 letters, also the abbreviation of what a bride says to her groom Ani ledodi vedodi li. I am for my beloved and my beloved is for me. Why is this month so special? There are no holidays on the month during the 30 days of the whole month of Elul, the Hebrew month Elul, which is Elul, E-L-U-L, is the last month of the Hebrew calendar. As soon as we finish Elul, Tishrei is going to start, which is the first month of the year, and Tishrei, first of Tishrei, is the first day of Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is going to be the high holidays here. I would like to make sure that I invite all of the people here in our class to come to the high holidays. Okay? You come to the high holidays in Rosh Hashanah. But before you come to high holidays, Rosh Hashanah, which is September 25th at night, a week before, write it on your calendar, September 17th, ladies and gentlemen, I am inviting you to something that you have never seen ever before. It is called Slichot, right? I just want to make sure that okay. This is what it is. Can you see it? Oh, somebody played with my markers. Okay. Is that it? Slichot. Okay. The word slicha means a lot of things. If I, for example, would go and step on Debbie's foot, I would say, oops, slicha, excuse me. Slicha means excuse me, but slicha means also forgiveness. For big things, it's the same word, for little things or big things. Slicha, S-L-I-C-H-A. Slicha. Slicha means forgiveness. Slichot is plural of forgiveness, okay? Many forgivenesses. And on September 17th, we're going to have, on Saturday evening, we're going to have the service of Slichot. It's going to be one of the most beautiful spiritual evening ever, because we're going to have Cantor Israel Singer, who is going to be flying from Israel and landing just before Slichot. He's going to be here on Thursday night, right? And on Saturday night, he's going to officiate an evening of Slichot, how to ask for forgiveness, what prayers do we say, what melodies do we say. There's going to be a lot of music. And what's so special about him? He was, I'm going to hold him in a second, you know that. So that night, Cantor Israel Singer, he worked with Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, Lord, he was a Lord, he was a rabbi, he was a chief rabbi of England. He passed away on 2020, and he is a true righteous man, and it is a great privilege that we're going to be able to witness and experience such a talent. He's a great talent. So I want you all to come. We're going to have a Havdalah service. And what happens? What happens on this exact service? Why is it so special? Okay. So the month of Elul, the last month of the year, is the month that is dedicated for us to ask forgiveness. From whom? From whom do we ask forgiveness? From people? Yes?
From God.
From God?
If it's a sin against the person, you have to ask them. You can't ask God to forgive you for something you did for somebody else.
Beautiful. We're asking forgiveness from God for things we did against God. We ask forgiveness from people for sins we have done against them. And hopefully we also ask forgiveness from ourselves, because many times we're so mad at ourselves for making a mistake. Even if the mistake that you made was a year ago, or 10 years ago, sometimes we carry so much guilt of a mistake that we made many years ago. This service is to say, enough. You carried it long enough. Let it go. Forgive yourself, forgive your children, forgive your spouse, forgive your families, so that you may start the year clean, white. That is why we, at that night, you're going to see all of our Torah scrolls dressed in white. Yeah? Because white is a symbol of cleanliness, purity, innocence, and we want to say, God, look at us and look at the Torah and look at everything as we are pure. And that's the vibes that we want in the synagogue. And we're going to be singing songs, listening to music, and experiencing this amazing voice comes out of this cantor. This is not something to be missed. And each and every one of you please invite any of your friends who want to come and experience what it is. Spiritually prepare yourself for the first day of the year. Yes? Bring your children. Bring anyone that you know in the community that they don't have to be members. It's too good not to share with the community. So when we received the Torah, the Midrash is saying that they're all being dressed in white and cotton, and they washed their clothes. They wanted to feel clean inside and outside when we received the 10 Commandments. And on high holidays, you'll see a lot of people dressed in white. Again, that's where the custom is coming from. They're dressed in white. And why don't we wear, and this is why the rabbis, the cantors, they're all dressed in white. On Yom Kippur, which is the holiest day of the year, we try not to wear belt or shoes made out of leather. Why? Because the leather came out of animal. It is like a sort of symbol of a little bit of arrogance. I mean, sort of wealth and arrogance. That's not the vibes that we want to create. So you might see sometimes women who wear beautiful dress and they come with tennis shoes, white tennis shoes, because humble. That's the custom.
Something had to die for that leather to be made.
Thank you. An additional reason is like somebody, I mean, some animal had to die for you to enjoy the leather. Okay, thank you for the addition. Yes.
So slichot means, the way you describe it is to ask for forgiveness.
Yeah, forgiveness. The word slichot means forgiveness. And the custom is to ask for forgiveness starting the beginning of Elul, which is this weekend, all the way the holy month.
Ask,
No,
not
the
to give.
word slichot means forgiveness. Slicha is forgiveness. Slichot is plural of forgiveness.
So
It both
asking
giving.
for and giving.
Thank you, Steve. It's asking for forgiveness and granting forgiveness. Slicha means granting or asking for forgiveness. There are people sometimes in our lives that we very much want to ask them to forgive us, or we wish for them to pick up the phone and say, hey, will you forgive me? But they don't call and we don't call. And we feel like it's like a moot point, too much has been gone and it just doesn't happen. It takes a lot of courage to ask it. It takes a lot of courage. But I'm talking to myself and I'm talking to all of you, and you are more than welcome to jump in. Sometimes people, no matter what you do, maybe the time is not here yet. It's just either they're not ready to forgive, either they're not over the pain. What do you do with these people that you ask and you try and it doesn't work out? I don't know actually what would be your suggestion. I have a suggestion, it has to do with real estate. I'll tell you what it is in a second, but you would like to give a suggestion.
Our suggestion is to question or just make a statement. You're saying how this is forgiving someone or being forgiven by someone. A couple of years ago, I was carrying a grudge.
Yeah.
And I carried that grudge for a long, long time. And I realized the person being hurt by that grudge was me. And I was I just decided to let it go. And I personally forgave the individuals that I was holding the grudge against. They never knew there was a grudge against them, but I just believed the grudge.
Okay, so you're talking real estate also. I'll tell you how it's connected to real estate. I'm hearing here that one of the students held a grudge against another person for a long time. And then finally, she decided to forgive that person, even though that person didn't even come to ask you for forgiveness. But you, the moment that you decided to forgive this person, you felt better. How is this connected to real estate? People that hurt my feelings or hurt me in any way, and I keep thinking, why did they do it? And how come we don't find the way to mend the relationship? And it sits on me, and it sits on me. But you know what it is? I am giving that person rent-free space in my heart and my mind, rent-free. They sit there, they occupy the space, they don't pay rent-free. This is why I say it has to do with real estate. No rent-free, no. You want to be in my heart, you need to be a friend, you need to be a lover, you need to be a family, you need somebody that cares about me. If you're constantly trying to hurt me, I have to forgive you, but relieves the space to bring another person in. I feel, truthfully, I'm looking at each and every person sitting in this room. You are my friends. You really are. I feel such a good vibes here. And also all of you on the screen, they say, learn together, you will bond together. People who learn together, who study together, become closer to each other. I can't give rent-free space in my head and heart for people who are not willing to come closer and say, let's work it out. It needs to come from both ways. So that's the, okay. Yes.
So in regards to people that are holding grudges, if you take the first step toward them, I feel that even if they're not ready, you have already altered their way of thinking. They're like, oh, well, this person is saying they're sorry. You know, I can understand maybe I'm not ready yet. Sooner than even sooner now that they have come forward and said they.
I agree. When it's always, look, it's always more power to you if you're the one making the first step, taking the higher road and say, let's make it work. But again, it's easier said than done. These things are very, very difficult, but that's why you have a whole month, the whole month of Elul. This is the month that, we're going to do an exercise. Where is your shofar?
She promised us a
Can
really
you bring
awesome
it?
performance.
Yeah, it's okay. So the custom of this month is to blow the shofar every single day for 30 days, the whole month. If you come during the month of Elul to our minyan in the morning, you know, the morning prayer, the rabbi blows the shofar. Why? The idea is to wake us up. Time to wake up. It's like to wake up our heart, to remind us that every day that goes by during the 30 days of Elul is one day less that you have time to go and put your affair in order, which means, you know, the relationship. The Sephardic minhag is to be praying at night, every night for the whole month. The Ashkenazi minhag custom is what we do here, is usually a week before, and that is why you invited to the 17th. So, Yoshi, would you show us in what way? I pray to God that you will be able to do it, because I never heard you do it. I never heard you do it. So I pray that you're going to be.
Are you gonna call them out or you just want to keep?
Oh, really? Okay, you can do the whole thing. Tequila. Shivarim. Teruah. Tequila gedola. This is the time when the gates of heaven, thank you very much. Give a nice big hand, thank you. So we believe that this opens our hearts and it opens the gates of heaven for God to listen to our prayers. Now, why this and not any other musical? Why? Why do we use the shofar, not any other musical instrument? Very good. Stephen Gross, you did good. This is because of the story of Akedat Yitzchak, when God asked Abraham to sacrifice his child, Isaac, and all of a sudden, the last minute, they saw rams in the bushes, and God said, do not touch this child to hurt him. Go and sacrifice that ram. So we, because Jewish people are smart, they said, hint, hint, God. Remember that? Remember? The first Jewish person on earth, Abraham, was willing to give you his only child to sacrifice him. And you tested him and he was willing to do it. This, when you see the shofar, God, remember who are we the descendants of? We are the children of that very man. So while we blow the shofar, not only we wake our own hearts, not only we wake up heaven, we are giving a hint to God. We are all children of this Abraham, who was even willing to give on the altar his own only child. So now you understand why not trumpet or flute or what drum or whatever. It has to be a shofar. Okay? So Yoshi, it was good. You need to still practice a little bit more.
It's so hard to know so that was really.
Yeah. So we believe that that on Rosh Hashanah, there is a symbol of Sefer HaChaim. Sefer, S-E-F-E-R, Sefer means book. Chaim comes from the word Lechaim. What's Chaim? Life. Who said that? Good for you. Debbie, you got like 6 good points tonight. I'm so proud of her. Give her a big hand. Come on, she did very well. Thank you.
Every time I would hear somebody saying to like when it comes to Kiddush,
Yeah.
silently myself and singing from
Like Lechaim. That's right.
It's deeply ingrained in my.
So life, Chaim is life. Sefer Chaim is book of life. And we pray that God will inscribe us in the book of life, in Sefer HaChaim. And on Yom Kippur, which is 10 days after Rosh Hashanah, The first of Tishrei, the first day of the first month of the year is Rosh Hashanah. Rosh means head, Shana means year, the head of the year, the first day of the year. Rosh Hashanah, the first day. 10 days later is Yom Kippur, the day of judgment, the atonement day, the day of fasting. This is a time when God seals us in the book of life. Yes.
A quick question. What does that mean? Written in the book of life, sealed in the book of life. What does that mean? Like, what is that?
I don't really think that God has like an ink in a book. I think that it's a symbol, but the accountant up there is looking at everything that you've done throughout the whole month of Elul, writes you on the book of life. Comes Yom Kippur, after you fast, you pray, and you use the 10 days of awe, which are from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. There are 10 days. These are the days that we believe are heaven is open to all of your prayers, wishes, gratitude. And so these are the 10 most testing days of the year. Anything that you weren't able to finish within the month of Elul, they are called the days of awe. After that, when comes Yom Kippur, after these 10 days, you are sealed as sort of, if there was anybody that their sort of destiny was in a little bit of a limbo, this is when it's sealed. So it's sort of like, what does it mean? That's exactly what it means.
But during those 10 days, you sort of set in your course, the actions you take, the things
Right.
you do, sets your course for
Yes.
what's to come.
Yes.
For those that may not know, letters have a numerical equivalent. So the numerical equivalent for 5 and 2, which is why it's traditional when you make a gift.
Oh,
18, 36, 54.
so any of you would like to send a donation to the synagogue, it's always nice to use the word, we're talking about Chaim and Chai, 18. $18, $180, $1,800, $18,000. Howie, $18,000 going once.
Yeah, I was just talking about those.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, I got one donation over here. So talking about Chai and Chaim, the number 18 is symbol of life. I will now tell you, my dearest friends and students, I have a lot of people here today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I hope Leah is taking all the names of all the people who I see, some teachers from our preschool. I love having all of you here. Leah is taking the names of everybody who is here. I would like to tell you that because as much as I love teaching with you and learning from you, I'm getting closer and closer to high holidays where I have a lot of other obligations in my office. We're going to take a little break until we come back again. I would like you all to stay in touch with me. If you have any questions, you know my phone number, especially for the high holidays. I'd love for all of you to come to the holidays. Who's coming for the September 17th? I want to see you there. Well, you please come and bring your friends. It's going to be a special evening, okay? Come and sit in the front, listen and really experience. I am excited. And anyone that you want to bring with you is welcome. And that goes to everybody there on the screen. Rabbi, do you have anything to say? Okay, anybody else? All right. I would like Robbie to maybe stand up so we can see the barbecue t-shirt, because I want you all to know, comes November 6th. Look at this. The kosher barbecue, Texas kosher barbecue, is going to be one of the most amazing events. You're going to see thousands of people here. There will be food and drinks and music. And I'm so proud of my son who's going to sponsor the whiskey over here. And yes, he's like working for whiskey company. So we're going to have a good time. And if any of you would like to create a team, Exploring Judaism team, where we're going to have our own team and for the barbecue, then just let me know. Howie.
We're the defending brisket champions, and
Howie's saying he is the winner of the brisket? From which year?
The last event.
Okay.
2019.
We need volunteers. Anybody who wants to volunteer? Robbie just unmuted himself and he's going to take. Robbie, do you want to say anything? Do you need volunteers? Robbie, where are you going? Okay, well, he did his pitch and he is done. Okay. Again, if I have offended any of you during this past year, knowingly or unknowingly, intentionally or unintentionally, I hereby ask for your forgiveness. If you hurt me, or if you upset me knowingly or unknowingly, intentionally or unintentionally, you are hereby all being forgiven. Bye-bye, everybody.
And Howie, thanks for the donation for that best brisket award.
Yes.
Great,
He
yeah.
saw a buckle at my office.
Oh, wow. Okay, Robbie, there are a lot of people here who want to volunteer and help you out. It's going to be the most amazing event ever.
Just go to our website. Go to the website, txkosherbbq.com. And there's a volunteer page and you can sign up. We need all the volunteers we can get.
Sounds good, Robbie. We're all with you. Thank you all. We'll see you soon. I will let you know when the next class starts.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye.
Bless you all.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Rabbi, I have a question for you about the forgiveness. If we tell somebody that we forgive them, what if they don't accept that forgiveness?
I don't know that you cannot deny that. No.
So if somebody say to you or me or whatever, please forgive me if you want to. You just, that just lays on you.
So no,
We did it like 3 times, then God gave you the forgiveness.
he came to my first class. Yes. You have to try again. The third time they say no, then God has forgiven you.
They might not say anything at all, but it's made the effort.
Well, but you don't know. What you don't know, you can, you know. All right. Please help yourself with some food.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Rabbi, I have one question. When you have,
So that piece belongs to me.
Sorry.
no problem. Are there any plans to do a Hebrew class? Because I'd like to learn Hebrew, but I don't know where to